Hi everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to my channel. Once again, we're going to be diving deep into SwiftUI. If you haven't seen my previous videos, check out this playlist. Now let's go and implement something that I'm calling a timetable clone. I've found this application online, which is called Timetable. This is probably for school students and it has a lot of downloads, a lot of usage. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be creating a clone from scratch using SwiftUI, and all of the kudos for the amazing user experience that they've created for this app goes to the creators of the Timetable app. So we're going to be creating the Timetable clone using SwiftUI, and this is 2024. Let's go. Now I switch to my Xcode, and I'm going to create the event cell. As you can see in the preview, one event has a single cell that represents the event. And we would need to go and create that view for ourselves. Let's do this right now. So I'm going to create a new file. This is going to be a SwiftUI view, and I'm going to call it event cell. I mean, me calling it event cell, obviously going back in the day when we used to work with UIKit, but you do not have to call it that way. All right. So before even creating an event cell, I want to create a model. So let's create a file, just a simple Swift file that's going to be called a model. And I'm going to create a model of event. Let's maybe call it models in plural. So what is an event? Every single event that you see in the preview of this app is created with specific fields in mind. So I'm going to make this event as a struct and start just filling it out. So it's going to be a title, which is a string, a day, which is going to be a string for now, the time from where the event starts. And by event, actually, we're going to represent the classes using the event type. And time to, obviously, time to. This is when the event finishes. Color, and info, some specific info, sorry, wrong place for the optional, and attachments. So we're going to have attachments, and this is going to be an array, also optional. So now the event that I'm going to be creating is going to contain a color and all of those options, and I think the info is string is fine, but the attachment, I guess it should be a struct as well. Struct event attachment. All right, it's going to be an empty struct because I don't know what to put there yet, but I definitely know that this is what we're going to be doing. Again, with event color, I'm going to be doing the same because this is not going to be just a simple color from the UIKit or from the SwiftUI library. It's going to be an enum of our predefined colors. Why? You're going to see that later. Maybe not even in this video specifically, but we would need this event color enum. And let's do just simple default red here. And I'm just going to call it default red. Also, I'm going to show you why. Okay, event color goes here. Okay, perfect. So we are ready for, this one needs to conform to string. Okay, we're ready with just the first draft of our event cell, and the event cell obviously just needs to have this event as a property. So here we go, event. Now we would need to create event here. Let's do this. Create an event. Here we go. Title, yada yada, all of that stuff. Title, physics, because we're talking about high school classes. Day. Oh right. So the day is. You know what? I'm gonna create a model for a day as well, because I think that the days need to be an enum too. Also a string. And here we go, Monday. A little bit mundane, but just bear with me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. A little bit boring, but we have to do this. And Sunday. Because I don't want you to pass any string as a day. I want to leverage Swift's type system to make it never even possible to pass anything except for these predefined enums into the struct that we're going to be using later. Okay, so this is kind of an echo of defensive programming in Swift, which is a little bit different from other languages, but so here we go. We've got this. Now, the day is not going to be a string, it's going to be a day. Okay, now going back to event cell, and the day now is dot Monday. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is not the classic way that Swift's enums actually are named. So usually they're named from the lowercase there, but let's not waste time on doing this. And the event color is going to be default red. Okay, so now we have this preview. I hope it's going to be seen here. I think we lost the preview. Okay, canvas. Right. Okay, cool. So we have the event, and now I can just simply do something like text event.title. Okay, hello physics. But, I mean, obviously we have so much interesting user interactions with this event, so let's go and implement that as well. So, what I'm saying is I'm thinking that this event cell is going to be a button. And how do I know that? Because I just played with the original Timetable app, and it seems like it is the interaction with the cell is very, very similar to that one of a button. So I'm going to create even the root object is going to be a button, and it's going to have an action, obviously, which is going to be empty for now. And then finally we pass the view builder here and go and put the text here. And even before that, I guess there's going to be, oh, you see, it changed now into something different. Yeah, let's move on. So we want our button to have a background, a specific background. For that, we're going to create a VStack. I'm going to create a VStack and put the text there. And let's do everything with this, what we need to do for it to work as a real event cell, as seen in the Timetable app. Okay, let's do the foreground style, which is going to be white. Let's do the padding, and I want to do the padding differently for each edge. So the leading and trailing are going to be 0, but the padding on top and bottom are going to be standard. I think I need to, you see, I need to have something for the button, and the I'm going to put the button style here, and the color. Oh, right. So we don't know really how to convert color from this enum to an actual color. So let's do this here. Let's create a function that we're going to call convert. Sorry, not convert. Let's do this even simpler. Color from event color, and we're going to pass event color here. Yep. And we're going to return the actual color that is used by the SwiftUI system. And for now, I'm just going to simply return .red. Sorry, return .red. So this is going to be like a placeholder for us. Let's go back here and we say color from event color, and then we're going to pass the event dot color. So you see what's happening here? We're passing the enum, and then this function, this global function, is going to be converting the enum into an actual color. Okay, so why doesn't it like it? No exact matches in call to instant method button style. I'm sorry. I think I yeah, I think Right, now I remember why. Okay, I remember now. Because in order to pass the button style, we actually need to create a style for a button. This is needed for this specific one. You cannot just simply change the color, because we want the different color for both pressed and unpressed events. And this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to implement a specific event cell button style, which is going to just simply implement the button style. I think this is a protocol, but I might be wrong. Yes, it is a protocol. Now it's saying, hey, it's not implemented. For sure it's not. Yeah, no. This is not what I wanted. I'm just going to say that we are going to have a color here as a variable for the instantiation of the object of this type. And then we need to implement the makeBody function. Yeah, here we go. Now here the configuration is passed, and we just need to modify the configuration dot label and set the background, and the background goes color, and the brightness goes configuration is pressed. Okay, so what this does is when the button is pressed, we're gonna highlight the background color a little bit. Otherwise, we're not applying any brightness modification to the background color. And this is it. This is our implementation of the event cell button style now, because the event cell button style is oh, you see what we can do here as well? We can just okay, never mind. Let's just move faster and just initialize this with a specific color. Now that's gonna work. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for too long. Yeah, here we go. We've got it. We got the background, which is, see the background, which is red, and the white foreground, which is saying physics. Here we go. Okay, but that's just the beginning. Now let's go back to our VStack and let's start implementing the real deal. And what is the real deal here for now? For us, it is something. Let's just hide this for now. Yeah, it is something that's going to be reminiscent of the original cell. Let's do this. So we got the alignment. We need to set the alignment of the VStack. Oops, too much. This is going to be leading. Now, it doesn't only contain the name. It also contains the time and the name itself. So let's do this. This is going to become an HStack. We're going to put the name here in this HStack, and we're going to set the alignment of this one as well. Alignment goes like this. We're going to say first text baseline. What does that mean? That means that when there's going to be the first text in the cell, the second one is going to be aligned on the baseline of the first text. Well, I mean, this is going to be obvious when I introduce the next text here, which is going to be, so it's going to be something like this. Event.date, right? Do we have it? Oh no, it's from time, right? Time from. Here we go. So we got those two texts, and I think the event title should be of a different font, which is going to be .title2. Right. So you can see here that even though the texts are of different height, of different size of the font, they're aligned on the same baseline, which is exactly what this one is doing. Because if we remove this, as far as I understand, yeah, you see there's no alignment, which is cool. Now, I mean, of course, we're not just going to use this standard text date to text interpolation as it's used here. We're going to create a separate function that's going to be called also here, static function here, convert date to text. And for those who have a disease called object-oriented brain damage, I just want to remind that whenever there's no state, this function should be static. If the function modifies a state of a class of an object, that's probably when you make the function as a method. But otherwise, there's no need to make a function as a method if it doesn't modify the state. So that's why this function and this function are static. So we pass, sorry, not the event color, so we pass the date here, and also, so whether or not we're going to be using a colon, which is just going to be true by default, before the time, before the hour and the minute, right? Now this one returns a string. I mean, also we could do this like an extension to the date class, but I don't think it's important right now. So we create a calendar, all of this standard stuff, calendar dot current. Then we do components. We create components for the calendar, and we say calendar date components. And what kind of components do we need? We need an hour and we need a minute. This is it. And from I mean, I think I passed date here, right? Now, we're gonna create a separator. So the separator is as simple as that. If we use the colon, we're using it. Otherwise, we use a space. And finally, we're gonna return time text. The time text is gonna be as follows: string, format, and the format is gonna be just like this. This is a decimal, separator, and another decimal. And we pass the components. So we cannot pass the components just like this. We are supposed to, we're supposed to create like a, oh, that's right. There's, it's as simple as that. We're just pass the hour, force and wrap it, and pass the minute. Also force and wrap it, and then finally return the time text. Well, thankfully, we would need to do this just once, finally. So I can now convert date to text here, and just pass the event dot time from. Voila. Okay, cool, I like this. Now, so our VStack is fine for now. Let's then maybe do the following. I want to pass the use colon and say, oh, sorry, wrong argument. Use colon and say false. So see here, false. How it changes. False. True. But I'm going to pass false here because I'm mimicking the UI of the Timetable app. Now, the frame of it needs to be fixed because we're going to be aligning some other elements to this specific from date. And for that, I'm going to be using a specific constant, a constant value, left view width, which is going to be a CG float of 52. I keep saying GC instead of CG. CG float. Okay, here we go. All right. Where does it go? I lost it. Yeah, here. So it's frame, and the width is gonna be fixed. Okay, so we've got the fixed width for that one. Now, I think something's off with padding though. Okay, we're gonna figure this out later. All right, and finally, physics. We've got this. We just need to put a spacer here so it's stretched. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted it to look like. All right, so there is a tiny detail to the user interface of this one. And the detail is there is a thin line on the top of the cell and on the bottom of it. Now, only the last cell would have both the top and the bottom line. Why? Because this is how it's going to look like in the list. So let's go and create the list of those cells first, right? So we're going to go and create a view. Here it is. We're going to create a view, new file, and we're going to call it event list. So the event list, we're just going to have a state property wrapper. We're going to call events in plural, all right? Because it's a list of events. Now, we're going to pass something here, an array of events. Where do we get the events? Obviously, we go to event cell and copy the initializer from here of the event. Yep, here we go. Event list. 1, 2, and it's going to be not physics, it's going to be chemistry, and let's do the third one, which is going to be math, right? Algebra. Okay, so event list is going to be a VStack, right? And another VStack with 0 spacing. Just bear with me. Spacing. And finally, we need a ForEach. So we create a ForEach, and we pass events as the array. The IDs are going to be just the addresses of the objects and the closure. Now we've got an event in, and for each event, we're going to create an event cell. Pretty straightforward. And we got the event. So we pass the event here, and let's see. Would that be enough? So for some reason, it's not enough, and I'm trying to understand why. Init ID content for each. Oh, okay. Awesome. So now we got to go back to our models here and make them all hashable, right? Hashable. And actually codable. And do the same for all of these subtypes. Sorry, this is not correct to call them subtypes. All of the types that are used in the event type. Struct attachment, just the sense. Okay, cool. Now we go back to the event list, and yeah, we've got the events here. Okay, so as you can see, when I tap on the events, you see this effect where it's just a little bit brighter. The button becomes a little bit brighter. Why? Because of this code. Oh, sorry, didn't open the right thing. Going back to event cell and this brightness part. You can see the same here. If I just comment this brightness, oof, didn't comment enough, to be honest. Like this, yep. So you see nothing changes when I click on it. So I click on it, nothing changes. That's because we didn't modify the brightness, and we are overriding the background color. Now it's different. Okay, let's go back to the event list and see. Okay, so this is the problem that I was talking about. All of these cells are now kind of look like they are, so they are not separated from one another in any way. There's no visual separation between the views. So what can we change about it? Of course, we're going to go and modify the code of one specific cell, right? So what is going to be the code modification? Let's go back to the cell. Let's close this. Now, this is what I was talking about. We would need to create an overlay that's gonna draw a darker line on top of the cell. Let's do this. So I'm gonna create an overlay. Wait, where exactly do I need to create it? Let's just think about it for a moment. Should we put it here on top of everything? Overlay of the button or overlay of the VStack? Let's try here. Overlay. I think this is where it belongs. Overlay. Now, we're just gonna create a rectangle. Super simple rectangle. And modify its frame. We're gonna set the height of this rectangle just to 1. So it's gonna be 1 point. And we're gonna make the opacity of this rectangle equal to 0.1. So it's just tiny bit visible, right? And by default, the rectangle is gonna be black. So it's not gonna be like a black line, it's gonna be a 10% transparent. Sorry, 90% transparent black line. And when combined with the red color here, it's gonna produce this a little bit darker red color. Why we're doing this? Because we're gonna be passing different colors here, so it's gonna work great with all of the colors. Let's just simply create this VStack overlay and just put the rect. And yeah, so it's not aligned at the top, right? So we're just gonna put the spacer here. Cool. Now it's aligned at the top. And you can barely see it here, but if we go and switch to event list, we could see the difference now. Yeah, here they are. Okay, you see? Beautiful. Now, there's a tiny problem here. So there's this line on top of every one of them, but no line at the bottom, right? So how we could have fixed this? We could have just added another rect here, but something's telling me that it's going to look ugly. Well, I know it's going to look ugly. So it's just becoming like there's two separators if it's in the middle. And this is not what we wanted to do. What we wanted to do, we wanted to add this second line, the second bottom line, only to the last item. Only to the last item. All right. How can we do that? Let's make it smaller. No, not this smaller. Just zoom out. Yes, this is better. Because it was zoomed in too much. So let me just slurp some coffee. What we do here, we want to introduce a new property here to event cell, and it's going to be isLast. Super easy, just a Boolean property, and okay. isLast is going to be false here, which I'm fine with. But if we go to event list, now we need to pass something here. Let's pass false for now. But maybe we know how isLast is calculated, right? Sorry, let's go back to event cell and just, have I deleted the second rect? No. So here we say if isLast, and only then we're going to show the second rectangle. Now going back to event list and seeing isLast is false, yeah, the same behavior now. But what we want to do is we want to know which one is the last one. So we just say isLast if event equals to events dot last. And here we go. If you zoom in, if you zoom in a lot like this and scroll, and you will see that there is a line here. There is a difference, believe me, in terms of UX. And by the way, again, kudos to the Timetable application developers and designers and UX designers, first of all, because the UX is really good. And I am personally learning a lot just by implementing this UX, because I have my own app that I'm going to be, improving over and over again. So this is going to help me a lot to understand how to, manipulate views and stuff like that. So there's something that's still kind of missing here. So we click on it, and well, it works great, but there was some point in clicking on it, right? There should be something happening after we click on the event. So let's go back to the event cell. And this something that's supposed to happen is the cell has to grow. So once you click on the cell, it grows, and there's much more details on it. So let's go and implement those details, because we haven't. Now, we've got something here, but also now let's do the isOpen property. So this isOpen is going to be a state, right? A state. What's wrong with me today? Okay, state var isOpen, and it's a Boolean state. Right? And here we go again. We didn't pass anything here. isOpen, let's do constant and say true for tests, right? What's wrong with this though? Type bool has no member. Wait. Oh, it's a state. Jeez, man. Of course, it's not a binding yet. Let's make it binding straight away. Binding is better to be this way. And now here, I guess, in the event list, we're going to be passing a... Now here we can pass a constant and also say true. Now they're all open, but there's no showing to this. Let's go back to the event cell and actually use this isOpen somewhere. So first of all, now when we click on this button, we want to toggle the isOpen property, which is this is what we're gonna be doing with animation, of course, with animation, and we're gonna change the toggle. Here we go. Now, well, let's maybe check out if this actually works, right? So we're gonna print isOpen and isOpen, right? Let's see what's happening here when we click on it. True. Why is it true? It should be changing. I guess, oh, I see, because we used, right. Let's not do that still. Let's use a state here. I changed my mind about it being a... Let's do this false, pass false. And in the event list, we also pass false, just pass false here. Now, when we click on it, still failing? Oh, wait a second. An extra. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the event cell and see. Yeah. We're tapping true, false, true, false, true, false. Yeah, that's exactly what toggle is supposed to do. Finally, so we've got there, right? Now, I really want to add like a different view when the cell is expanding. So I would go and create a different view. So far in the same file, just so we can, just jump back and forth between the files. I don't like it. So let's create a new view called expanded. Call it a view, obviously, the body, and yeah, it should have a state variable event, because we need to pass the event there, right? The same event, and so the body is going to be a VStack, and so I want to now show not only the from time but also the to time here in the expanded view. So when a person clicks on the view, not only the beginning of the lesson is going to be shown, but also the end as well. Wasn't me. This is the way they created it in the Timetable app. So we want to convert to date. You see how it was really, really good for us. We're going to convert to date again here, event.time2. And yeah, just create a text out of this and say, hey, let's go from to. And that's going to be enough for now, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to show that expanded view later. Okay, so let's see where we do that. I guess so here in the VStack, right? So we have this HStack, a spacer here. Okay, so we have the horizontal stack here, and a VStack that's kind of like unused right now. So let's go and create this. If is open, and we just put the expanded, and pass the event because we already hold onto the event. And now I think it should be working. Yes, here we go. Look at this. So pretty. So nice. So nice. Okay. And if we go to the event list, I think the same thing is happening. Man, I don't know. It's just starts to look amazing. Now let's go back to the event cell view and open it. And we just definitely need to move this to the right. But since we already have set the left view width, so what we're going to be doing next is aligning everything in the expanded view. And it's going to be just as easy as setting the padding. So we're going to set the padding. So the leading padding is going to be left view width. And once we do this, okay, we've got this. Now, so it truly is aligned to this right side of this left view. But we also need to have some padding to compensate for the physics, I think. Or, wait, no, I want the physics here to go closer to the time. And I think this is something that I missed. I think I'm going to be checking out, yes, so here the spacing, we set the spacing to 0. Yep. Now it's completely aligned to one another. See here? Okay, cool. Maybe should I zoom in? Why is it not clicking? Yeah, let's just zoom in. Okay, here we go. So you can definitely see it here. Now it's 100% aligned. Physics. Okay, what's next? The next thing that I want to change here is, of course, moving this down a little bit. Let's pass through by default here. Okay, so I don't have to click it over and over again. Okay, where are we? In the expanded view, we would want to set the top padding just a little bit. Setting the top padding just a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's nice. That's exactly how it looks in the original Timetable app. Is there something else? Is there something else? There is. There's a lot of stuff there. So, yeah, before we continue, we would need to introduce the event edit action. And I wonder how much time has passed already. 47 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I think we should maybe pause here, but before that, what I want to do is modify the animation. So as I noticed in the original Timetable app, the animation is not standard. It doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like this. What it does look like, though, is I think it is using spring animation. So let's go and implement that first. I just need to find where exactly to implement this. Let's go and see. So we have this with animation here, which means that we need to modify the animation of the button here. Okay. So here at the bottom of the overlay, or rather, I want the overlay to be in the very, very end. So let's do here dot animation and set this spring animation. Okay, let's see. Oh, spring. Oh, animation has been deprecated. Yes, of course, because we forgot to pass a certain parameter to the animation, because it is indeed now deprecated. So we need to pass the value. So animation happens only when the value is changing. Let's see how it works. I cannot see a lot of changes, to be honest. Well, I said the spring. I guess I need to start setting like default values for the response and all of that stuff. I wonder if there's a way to get the standard settings, because this is definitely not a spring animation that we're looking at. Okay, so it's response. Response is gonna be 0.5. Okay. It doesn't really change. Nothing really changes. I'm starting to think that this is not the right place for the animation. Is anything changing, really? But I cannot see it yet. Okay, let's modify different parameters of the animation. Blend duration. Let's modify this as well. So it's super, let's do 5. So we see exactly. Okay, yeah, now I can see some action. Yeah. Okay, finally, we're able to turn on the spring animation, you see? Boom, boom, boom. This is so beautiful, but not what we wanted. So what we actually wanted was exactly this damping fraction, and I just do this by hand. Yeah, so this looks super close to what they are doing in the app, and now, yeah, cool. So one tiny problem though, when we click the button and the animation happens, you see our rect here, the one that we've created, is not moving simultaneously with the button. It's like, it's a little bit delayed. So in order to circumvent this, we're gonna cut the overlay out of here and put it inside the button. I guess here, inside the stack, and I think that's gonna fix it for us. Yes, it is fixing it for us, which is great. And I wonder if I put the isLast to true, if that's still gonna work. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so this was the last thing that I wanted to show in this specific tutorial. But before we just switch back to our other stuff, let's go check out the event list and how it all works together. What's happening? Why can't I open the event list? Event list, please. Yes, here we go. Okay, so this is pretty cool. The only thing that I don't like is that there's this white, unfortunately. Like, you see what's happening? Yeah, this is white background. Okay, let's go back and change the time. So the time, oh yeah, the blend duration is 0.1. Why is it so slow then? Wait a second. Wait a second. It's fast here, but it's slow here. Maybe it's not slow. Maybe I'm slow. Maybe I'm slow today. Okay, what we figured today. We figured how to animate the cells. We figured today how to change the cell height based on the state of the cell. We also figured how to modify the button background. So, we added this highlight. Also, we figured out how to add those lines, the separators, and also figured out that the last event also needs to have the top and the bottom lines. But later, we're going to be adding some more fun stuff to it. So if I have time, if I have a desire, I'm going to create the next video right after this one. But for now, we need to stop because it's taken a while. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.